So we're going to be using patty paper when we're doing reflections. And so in our first scenario here, we're going to go ahead and use our patty paper. Use pencil. Pencil typically draws better on patty paper. The first thing you should always do is draw your X and your Y axis. Just like that. And then we're going to go ahead and graph these points. So we have 3, 5 as our A. B is 1, 3. C is 6, 1. And we're going to go ahead and connect these points and label our X and our Y axis. Our first scenario is asking us to reflect across the X axis. So that means we're going to go ahead and reflect this triangle across this X axis right here. So that means you're going to flip it downwards. You're going to line up the X and the Y axis. That's why it's super important that you draw your axes there. And you can see that our new points form. So we have, that one is B prime, so that's our image now. We're going to go and draw our A prime, and then our C prime. I'm going to go ahead and draw our new triangle. I'm going to go back and graph the original. So 3, 5 is A, 1, 3 is B, and then C is 6, 1. So you can see here that you can see the purple triangle, which is our pre-image. The pre-image is flipped across the x-axis, and this is our new triangle here. So we're going to go ahead and find the new coordinates. Our A prime is 3, -5. Our B prime here is 1, -3. And then our C prime is 6, -1. If you look here from A to A prime, you can see that the coordinates are really similar. They're both 3, but instead of 5, it's now -5. For B, it's 1, 1, but instead of 3, now it's -3. For 6, it stays 6, but this 1 becomes a -1. So if you look here, when you generalize it, the X will always stay the same, but the Y is going to flip signs. So if you have a -Y, it's going to turn to a positive Y. If your X is positive or negative, it's going to stay that exact same value. Let's take a look at across the Y-axis. So we're going to use the same points. I'm going to line up my triangle here. And when you're flipping across the Y-axis, that means you're going to flip it left and right. So I'm going to flip it, and now I'm in the second quadrant. I'm going to go ahead and graph my points here. A prime, B prime, and C prime. Connect those points. And my original was 3, 5, 1, 3, 6, 1. And you can see that this figure is reflected or flipped across the y-axis. Draw our points. A prime is -3, 5. B prime is -1, 3. Our C prime is -6, 1. If you look here, this time our Y numbers all stay the same, 5, 5, 3, 3, 1, 1. So the Y is going to stay the same, but notice that the X now gets flipped. The positive turns negative. Positive turns negative. So we can generalize it as -X, Y.